All right. Good morning and welcome to the 2026 Virtual University and Degree Information Fair. This event is running all week long and is comprised of a variety of diploma to degree pathway sessions from some of Seneca's partner institutions. If you have missed any of the sessions or are not able to attend any of the sessions coming up, all of the sessions are being recorded and will be available on our website for students to view on demand. My name is Jennifer Kloosterman, and I am one of the advisors, academic pathways advisors here in the academic pathways office at Seneca Polytechnic. If you have any questions or require any support moving forward with diploma to degree pathways, whether that be at Seneca or beyond at one of Seneca's partner institutions, just connect with our team and we would be happy to support you with that. This session today, right now, is with Trent University, and we are happy to have Jonathan from the Trent team here to talk to you about some of the different pathways that are available with Trent. After a short presentation, we will return here, and if anyone has any questions, please just pop those into the chat, and we will get to those after the presentation. So thanks so much, Jonathan, for being with us today. Um, Thank you for taking the time to speak with our students. And yeah, we'll regroup soon.
Sounds good. Awesome. Well, thank you, Jennifer, for having me. And again, thank you to the larger student body of Seneca for taking the time to drop into this session and learn a little bit more about Trent University, some of our programs, some of our pathways, what we offer, but more importantly, where you could potentially see yourself in the future. We're going to be chatting about a couple of options as a transfer student, but also we're going to be touching upon how to apply, what transfer credits might be granted to yourself as well, and how to connect with us in the future, right? I always like to tell students that we are just kind of laying down the bricks for your road and for your next chapter. And this is essentially what we're doing. We're getting some information and we're essentially setting ourselves up to have that best trajectory in that next academic term. Trent University is, in my opinion, a very great school. It holds a very strong place in my heart. And one of the reasons why is because of the way that we invest in our students. I think nowadays it's very apparent to take a look and see kind of what is available out there, but more importantly, how much a lot of this stuff costs. Education is very much an investment into your future. And I always like to tell students that the best way to kind of ensure that you're in good hands is if you invest today in your future down the line. As a transfer student, you have access to our entrance-based scholarships. So based on your average in college, you can fall into one of the four categories here. And our scholarships are also renewable at Trent University. So what does that mean? It requires you to maintain a minimum grade of 80%. And whatever you came in with is what you will continue to receive. So if your diploma awarded you an average of a 92, for example, $3,000 is what you'll be receiving in that first year. If you keep your average above an 80, right, not above a 90, you'll continue to get that $3,000, which is really great. This is just one way for us to reward you for the time and the effort that you put into your marks. And honestly, it really is a great way to kind of alleviate some of that financial pressure. Now, if you are falling within the 75 to 79% mark, we also do have a transfer award as well that you can apply for, and that'll grant you $500 towards your tuition as well. Before we continue, I also do want to shed light on one of the slides that I had earlier. This QR code is really there to help you get connected with us. So if you want to take a second and quickly scan that, you can fill out some information and we can send you relevant information regarding some of our events, some of our virtual or in-person initiatives that we're trying to do, whether it is related to academics or if it's just related for a way for you to kind of break the ice and get a bit of that social introduction to Trent, make a couple friends before attending our wonderful university here. Now, we at Trent like to think that we are one of Ontario's most transfer credit friendly universities, right? So not only do we have kind of direct pathways for certain programs, but on top of that, we are also able to take a look and assess, right, your degree options and also the courses that you've taken in your diploma that you would like to use towards your degree. Our general rule of thumb goes as follows. If you have a minimum of 65% in at least one semester of college or university, in this case, Seneca College, we're going to stick with college, then you are eligible to transfer to Trent University, right? So anything like English, sociology, psychology, anthropology, we are looking for that minimum 65% overall. Now, any course that you have obtained a 70% or higher in, we will take a look automatically with our admissions team to see if we can grant you a transfer credit, right? This is how we are able to really kind of break down what you've taken at Seneca and then apply that to Trent University. In the event that you receive an offer, which is exciting, but you realize that you maybe don't have the amount of transfer credits that you were anticipating, you can also reach out to our admissions department. Bring in your course outline. We'll be more than happy to do an audit and see if we can grant you that transfer credit, as that will then be placed onwards to the actual academic department. So if you took a math course, for example, and you didn't get a credit for that, if you bring in that course outline, we will send that over to our math department so they can also deliberate, take a look to see if it is worthy of a transfer credit. Now, we also have pathways and pathway options, right? These are established within Trent and Seneca College, right? And it's based on the programs that we have here at our university and how closely they relate to the programs that you have over at Seneca, right? So this is a really great way to kind of seamlessly transfer into our school without necessarily having to be at the quote unquote mercy of your transfer credits, right? That minimum 70. Why am I saying all of this? So, for example, if you took the business diploma at Fleming College, right, you are then able to utilize the pathway agreement that we have with Seneca. My apologies. And from there, if you maintain a 75% or above, you are then able to transfer over to Trent. For something like business, what we can do is we can also offer you 10 credits to go towards your transcript if you fall under that pathway. So that means that we will actually cover half of your university term with those 10 credits, which means you'll have an additional 10 credits to complete in order to finish, which means you'll start in year 3 as opposed to your first year here at Trent. So there are some benefits regardless of how you are coming or how you are transferring and applying to Trent, as we will always take a look and see how we can reward you for the hard work that you have put in during your time at Seneca. Now, we do have two campus locations, both of which offer a really kind of great breadth of academic programming across the board. If you are interested in courses related to the sciences, a lot of those, if not the majority, I'd say 90 to 95%, are going to be found at the Peterborough campus, right? This is where you're going to find our science complex, our chemistry building, our DNA building, along with some really interesting and cool instrumentation, some of which are really kind of rare. And not really found anywhere else in the world. For example, we have a water testing instrumentation center in our chemistry building, and it's actually one of 3 in all of North America, right? So you really do have the opportunity to get your hands and feet literally wet, but also experience some really unique and honestly rare pieces of scientific equipment and instrumentation, which is great. The city of Peterborough in itself is absolutely wonderful. I've studied here and I also live here now because I work for the school. And it's a nice balance of, again, that relaxed nature feel, but also the vibrant student and downtown city buzz that you're looking for. What I really enjoyed about the city of Peterborough, is how central it is to everything, right? You're about 90 minutes to Toronto. You're about 45 minutes to Oshawa. You're about 2 hours to Kingston, 3 hours to Ottawa, and 4 hours to Montreal. Regardless of what you want to do, regardless of which hockey team you support, right, you're able to make the most out of your weekends, your breaks, your holidays, and really explore a really nice aspect and a really nice corridor of the province of Ontario, which is great. Now, on top of that, we also do have the Durham campus, which is located in Oshawa, right? If you are looking for our arts-based programs, business, psychology, media studies, right, that's going to be available not only at the Peterborough campus, but at the Oshawa campus. On top of that, we also do have exclusive programs that are only offered at the Oshawa campus. An example of some of these might be our Child and Youth Studies program. our logistics and supply chain management, our communications degree is also exclusively offered at the Durham campus. Journalism is also exclusively offered at the Durham campus. And the reason why we wanted to do that is for two reasons. One, of course, we wanted to give the Durham campus, our Oshawa campus, its own identity. But two, because of our location, we really thought that this was a great place to really innovate and invite, excuse me, change and innovation within not only our faculty and staff, but within our student body, right? With access to the Durham region and the GTA region, whether you are looking for a co-op position, an internship, research opportunity, there's a breadth and a plethora of ways for you to get involved and for you to dig deeper into your curiosity and tap into your academics in ways that hopefully probably you haven't done so before in the past. On top of that as well, our campus is directly located on the GO train line. It's about a 5 minute drive. I think I did the timing, and it's about 5 minutes to get to the GO train station. And from there, you now have access to the majority of the Durham GTA, and honestly, a good amount of the York region as well, depending on where you want to go and how you go about maneuvering the Metrolinx and the GO Transit. So, regardless of which campus you choose, you will make the right decision. You will make a wonderful decision because, again, your trend home really does end up becoming your home away from home. Now, we do have over 100 programs to choose from, 25 paid co-op streams. There's a lot to get involved in. And I think that's one of the best parts about university and post-secondary. It's the opportunity for you to essentially dive into a variety of different subject matter that A, either interest you, or B, you haven't even heard of. And I think that's beautiful. Whether it is the arts and humanities, teaching and education, media, culture and communications, law and criminology, or maybe computer, data science, and mathematics, we like to think that there's a little bit of something for everybody on campus. Now, one of the things that I mentioned in that previous slide as well, and kind of when we were breaking down some of our campus experience, right, is that notion of career-based experience. There's the on-running joke that, you need experience to get a job, but can't get a job without experience. Well, we wanted to get you ready before you enter the workforce. So at Trent, we do have paid co-op streams, internships, and placements. Those can be for credit or paid as well. Community-based research opportunities, and all of those can also be available for undergraduate students as well. All of that gets taken care of through our career space. This is your one-stop shop for anything revolving or including real world lived in experiences, right? So if you're in business and you're looking for a nice business co-op, to potentially further your career, network, and build your portfolio, this would be the place to go. If you're thinking of studying abroad as well, right, we do offer the opportunity for students to travel the world, not only for a semester, but for a full year, to really immerse yourself in a new kind of global setting, learn about cultures and history while still taking and utilizing your academics to fuel that curiosity. Personally speaking, I traveled to Manchester in my undergrad. I had an absolute blast. There's nothing like watching a Manchester United game in person. And with the variety of different kind of bursaries that we have available as well, and the fact that you're paying domestic tuition fees, we really try and make traveling as seamless as possible for our undergraduate students. Now, how are transfer credits assessed? Like we spoke of before, right? We do have program pathways and articulation agreements that we follow, right? So these are created by post-secondary institutions and usually connected through a related program and field. So like I stated before, an accounting diploma or a business diploma, right, can be utilized and transferred over into your BBA, your business administration degree. Now, pathways may include multiple institutions, right, and have specific admission or program requirements. Right, and that usually provides a student with a transfer course or credits between said institutions as well, right? We have a pathway here for social service work and social work with Seneca. But we also have that pathway with Seneca, with Fleming, and with Centennial as well. Why am I saying all of this? The reason why is because I work for a post-secondary institution. And I always like to tell students that although I work for Trent, I am ultimately, right, employed by you folks. The reason why this is important is because different institutions are going to have different policies and they're going to have different articulation and pathway agreements as well. I always urge students to do their research. I always urge them to take a look around and see what other institutions have to see if it's the right fit for you. If that fit ends up being at Trent, that is amazing and we cannot wait for you to come. However, if you find that fit somewhere else, then again, I am always more than happy and encouraging students to find that place that clicks with them because at the end of the day, ultimately, it is your decision and it is your future. If I can help you kind of create that informed decision and also help you carve out a future that you are looking for, then I absolutely will. And some of these articulation agreements and pathways are one of the few ways that we are able to do so. Now, how are transfer credits assessed? Like I stated before, you need a minimum grade of 70% in a college course to be considered for a course-by-course credit assessment, and a minimum grade of 70 is required in any university courses to be considered by course-by-course transfer credit assessment as well. So, if you did attend a university, then decided to go to college, or vice versa, right? You finish up at Seneca, you go and transfer to another institution, and then decide to transfer to Trent. We will take a look at everything that you bring us at the post-secondary level, and we will take a look at all the courses that you've taken to see if we can grant you a transfer credit. So two-year academic programs with significant academic contents typically, right, are eligible for up to 5.0 transfer credit, which is equivalent to 1 year. And a three-year academic program with significant academic content is typically eligible for up to 7.5 transfer credits, right? So that's about 2.5 years. Now, every single application are assessed for transfer credit eligibility and is assessed on an individual basis. We will never group students together and kind of give them bulk transfer credits that way. I think that kind of does a disservice not only to yourself, but also to the work that you've put in. So we will take a look at every single one of our applicants. We'll take a look to see if they're transfers, and we'll take a look to see if we can grant them transfer credits every single time, right? Regardless of whether you went to school in 2024 or if you went to school in 2014, we're still going to take a look to see if we can grant you something. Now, we also do have a transfer credit database on our website that you're actually able to kind of access. Quick Google search, Trent U transfer credit database or Trent U credit database will get you to the screen, and you're actually able to take a look and research your college or your university, take a look at the actual program and see some of those courses that we've already assessed, right? It's not the list of all of the courses that we're able to assess. Obviously, when students take courses that we haven't seen, we will go ahead and add that to our list. But it's a good way to get an understanding as to what we usually deem to be acceptable transfer credits. And like I stated before, if you are seeing yourself taking courses and upon application you get an offer and not as many transfer credits are there as you'd like, you can always take a look at your course outlines and send that over to our admissions department. And then we will take a look at that on top of the departments that are correctly associated with that program. Now, applying to Trend is also honestly easier than it's ever been. And I really want to thank not only our connections team, but also the team over at OUAC. So if you are thinking about applying to other institutions besides Trent, right, I would recommend utilizing the OUAC website. This allows you to have three choices, right, for schools and programs to apply to. However, there is a $150 charge affiliated with that as well. If you are only thinking of Trent, maybe you have that pathway that you're interested in, or maybe you know the course, or sorry, the program that you want to study, you can utilize our direct application, and that'll bring you directly to our direct application page and web link. I've also added a QR code for that as well, so if you want to take a look and screenshot that, you absolutely can too. On top of that as well, we do have an international application that students can apply and utilize directly through us, right? We we'll have to unfortunately include a bit of a price there. I think the overall price is $70, but that's just for servicing fees for our staff to be able to kind of run a couple of our assessments through that international channel. So to make it a very, very short story, you have three options as a transfer student. OUAC, direct application, or if you do identify as an international student, we do have a specific international student application for you as well. Now, once you've applied, you also need to submit your transcripts. We need to know what you've taken. We also need to know how you've been doing academically in order for us to get you an offer or not. The easiest way to do so, right, if you're handling it through the OUAC, you can actually order your transcripts through the OAC electronically. If you live outside of Ontario, for example, maybe you are commuting from Quebec, perhaps, or maybe you're taking some courses online, you can send that directly to admissions@trentu.ca. If you're utilizing the direct portal, if you're also utilizing the international application, then you can actually upload your transcripts through to admissions@trentu.ca. If you include your name and if you include your Trent student ID that you'll be given, this is a really nice way for us to kind of pinpoint and kind of connect your transcript with your file and make things as seamless as possible as well. Now, you can utilize and start off with your unofficial transcripts. A lot of those marks can be found on your student portal at Seneca. But then on top of that, we can use that, get started, and provide you a conditional offer. With that conditional offer, one of those conditions is that you successfully complete the semester. And if you're thinking of a pathway, you do need to graduate, and we do need to get an official copy of your transcripts. Whether you have done a semester, 1 year, or you have fully completed your diploma, we will need that official copy to come from Seneca. And that's usually going to be from Seneca's registrar office, and they will automatically email that over to us at admissions@trentu.ca. You as a student just need to let them know that you need your transcript sent over to Trent University. So like I stated before, right, we do have a variety of different pathways that are available. An example that I utilized before is the business diploma. As you can see, with Seneca's business diploma, you can utilize it in a variety of different ways, whether it is through the arts, right, or if you want to transfer into a business diploma program, you can also do so as well. Another example that I utilize here is for social service work. Right, the social service worker diploma, the 2-year diploma, is actually a direct transfer into our Bachelor of Social Work program. So we're able to grant you a guaranteed 6 credits, which means you'll have 14 credits left to do, which is 3 years, right? Again, this is all based on whether you are able to achieve a 75% overall average. And once we have that in our books, then we'll be able to continue on. We can move forward with the overall application process. So once you have accepted your offer, once you have come, or once you're making kind of your plans to get here, something that I always like to guide students toward is academic advising, right? They can help you with a variety of different things, from planning your degree to understanding degree requirements or how to utilize your transfer credits, right? We do have a specific transfer academic advisor this year, which is great. Her name is Sylvia Morthy. So if you go to trentu.ca/transfer, you'll actually be able to see their page and book with them directly, right? So once you have your offer, once you have a couple of courses under your belt, and more specifically as well, and more importantly, during the month of June, July, when course registration does open, if you do require some help or prior to, if you just want someone to talk to about your next steps, I highly recommend reaching out to them. And like I said, they can be reached out and directly contacted through trentu.ca/advising. So academic advice can also help you decide if you'd like to complete your studies full-time or part-time, and I think that's also important. We all have different lives. Some of us have careers, some of us have children, some of us have individuals that depend upon us, right? They are also able to kind of help you understand and weigh out your options, right? How to create a schedule that is right for you and manageable for you as well, which I think is very important. They can also get you connected with a variety of different academic skills, clubs and groups and services, not only for accessibility, peer support colleges, but social services as well. So that's one thing that we really want to emphasize, right? You find your community at Trent, right? It takes a village, and we really do believe that you don't just attend Trent, you do become Trent, and Trent does become a part of you as well. And lastly, I think the best way for anybody, right, to kind of figure out if a school is right for them, the same way that you figure out if the pair of jeans that you're thinking of buying is the right pair for you, is to try them out. Walk around our campus, talk to our staff, talk to our faculty, talk to some of our students, whether they are coming straight from high school or even our transfer students that we have roaming around during our open houses. They absolutely love to talk about their experiences and learn about your experience and why you wanted to go back to school or continue on with your education as well. I truly believe that education is not linear and learning never stops. And a lot of our transfer students believe that as well. And they take that with them through their entire undergrad. So when they do have incoming first year transfer students like yourself, you start to see this camaraderie and this sense of community a lot earlier than you probably anticipated. So mark your calendars, March 4th and then March 20th, 2026. Or you can also take a look at trentu.ca/open house to see our registration links there or any updates that happen throughout the month of, well, technically January and February as we get ready for our open house. And last but not least, if you have questions about transferring any of our pathways, if transferring might be an option for you, how to get started, transfer credits, etc., feel free to reach out. Right? Feel free to reach out to us. My email is there, jasonmugaza@trentu.ca. That is my direct transfer email. I also have a phone number available, 270-5748-1011, and my extension is 6618. I also understand that, technology has been moving faster than ever, which is why we are literally on this Microsoft Teams. So if you would like to as well, you can book a one-on-one virtual appointment with me through my Teams, www.trentu.ca/transfer. If you go to the bottom of the page, you'll see my face with a big old smile, kind of like this one, and you'll be able to book an appointment with me, and I'll be more than happy to meet you, learn a little bit more about you, where you're coming from, but more importantly, where we can get you going. This has been my presentation. This has been my pitch, if you will, for Trent University, the transfer options that we have, but more importantly, how you could potentially see yourself on our campus. I want to thank Jennifer for inviting me as well. I always love connecting with Seneca and your students as well. So this really has been a great time for me to kind of, take a pause from my day and really kind of share some of my thoughts about Trent and the partnerships we have with Seneca. So again, Jennifer, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for being here. Lots of good information there for our students. I do see a few questions coming through. So the first one
Oh,
is about any pathways from our computer system technology 3-year diploma. I have to pull up the pathways
oh,
for that. We can take a look. But if you have anything, sort of
yeah,
technology, computer related, um,
absolutely.
and
Hmm.
then just about the online availability.
Of course, absolutely. Two great questions. We do have a direct pathway with the Computing Systems Technology Advanced 3-year diploma, and that's going to go directly into our Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. Now, you can take computer science both at the Oshawa campus and the Peterborough campus, which is wonderful. And we will, right, grant you 10 credits if you have achieved that minimum 75 that we're looking for. Right, so that will plop you right into year 3, which again is just our way of kind of respecting and also rewarding you for the work that you've put in over at Seneca. In regards to our online offerings are based on a couple of things. One, the actual programs that are available to run, and two, the professors available to run said programs. We are predominantly an in-person institution. We do have two at the moment degrees that you can take online, criminology and circumpolar studies. But again, for the majority of our programs, the safer bet is that they're going to be in person. However, we do have an online database as well when you are looking at courses, both for the summer and for the regular academic year, to really kind of make a schedule that works with you.
So I would also encourage students that want to talk about their individual sort of academic background and their plan to get in touch with you. The email address is there. I think that's super helpful. Okay, so I'm not seeing other questions coming through. So we will sort of wrap it up there. Just want to take a minute to thank everyone for joining us, especially you, Jonathan. And also, we have the contact info for our academic pathways team in the chat as well. So after today, if any students have any questions about any of the pathways, you can get in touch with us by email. You can also make a virtual advisement appointment with us. Oh, okay. So I do see someone that has a question. I'm just going to quickly go and let them speak here. I'm going to unmute. Okay, so you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Sin J. Lee, I have enabled your mic. If it's not going to work for you to unmute and speak, feel free to just pop your question into the chat box. You can also reach out to Jonathan directly. Okay. All right. So I think that question has, I don't see that coming up. Okay. So we will end the presentation there. So I hope everyone has a great day. And thanks for joining us. Take care, everyone.
Bye now.